Yes, sir.
Okay.
I believe so.
Kyle, wake up. Kyle.
Oh, what?
Wake up. Let me talk to you.
Oh,
Kind of important.
okay.
Meet us in the kitchen, alright?
Oh.
You want to get dressed, or are you good like that?
I'll probably throw pants on.
Whenever you're ready, meet us out there.
Okay.
Alright, have a
It's not
seat in this
even
right here.
light out. Oh.
Morning, sleepyhead.
You guys couldn't have come later in the day?
Probably could have, but I got other stuff to do, so I had to come by now. So state police want me to ask you a couple questions. They have some new evidence in the case that you're here for, and they wanted me to run a couple things by you. Are you familiar with this R-looking symbol? Here's a picture of it.
Where'd you find that?
I think they found it on a rat trap somewhere in the city. Down the oil field.
Oh, be very careful. Ugh.
What is that?
That is a guy who makes poisons.
Okay.
I.
They asked me to ask you if that has anything to do with some guy named Recluse.
Yep, that's him.
Okay, so that's like
That's what he's
his
known
brand mark.
as.
Okay, you don't happen to know his name?
No.
Okay.
I don't know his name, never seen him, I just know that that's what he is.
Okay, and that's like his brand mark?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any idea why it would be on a rat trap at the oil fields?
You said a rat trap?
Yeah, like one of them, like Tomcat black plastic things.
Oh, well,
I have a picture of it if you want to see it.
I know he tests all his poisons to make sure that it's good poison. Ugh.
Yeah, I guess they found a bunch of dead animals down there and found the trap associated with them and somehow thought this was tied into something you might know something about.
Oh, yeah. He puts those out there to test if it's a good poison.
Okay. So obviously they already know about the brown recluse venom and white snake root extract, but this time it seems that the poisons they're finding are different. Have you ever known the Silence Bloods to experiment with different poisons, or is that they just have one that they primarily use?
Mostly they just use the the poisons you guys know about. All the other kinds, you haven't found them in people, right?
Not in people yet, just animals.
Okay. If it's just animals, that's most likely that he's testing.
Okay, and does he exclusively sell to the Silence Bloods, or does he have other customers that you are aware of?
That I know of, it's just the Silence Bloods, but I don't really know much about him.
Okay. Do you have any idea where their delivery sites are for these poisons?
Unfortunately, no, I don't. Not with that one.
Okay. Nothing in the area of the oil fields down there that you're aware of?
No.
Where else you might like to test these things?
No, I just know that it's mostly like in the city.
Okay. Any specific area in the city more common than the others?
No, just the oil field.
Okay. The poison that they found in the traps this time was belladonna mixed with something called wolfsbane. Could you give me a little bit of information about that, like what effects that might have, stuff to that effect?
Um,
Take your time. You want a cup of coffee or anything, Kyle?
might be good.
Okay. Hey, Herrera, could you make him a cup of coffee real quick?
Yeah.
Like I said, sorry I had to wake you up so early. I have meetings with the U.S. Attorney and stuff later. This is the only time today I had time to swing by.
Yeah, that's good. I'm usually used to being up at this time, but haven't been up lately.
Yeah, I understand.
But no, the belladonna is like it's an actual like plant.
Okay. Is that just like a common thing that we could find in the wild, or is he maybe like growing that somewhere, or?
He could be growing that. Because I couldn't see him as wanting to go find it all the time.
Okay.
The wolfsbane, I believe, is also a plant. I think.
Okay. Have you ever heard of that being used as like a point source poison before?
Um, I did have someone come in. They were not with any of this stuff. They just were testing roots and they're eating different roots and stuff. And yeah, that one was from a wolfsbane. He was poisoned by wolfsbane.
Okay. So what would be like the method of delivery on that? Is that going to be like an injection like they're used to, or do they have to like get them to ingest it?
I believe that one you'd actually have to like mix into a food to be able to get it to be ingested.
Okay, so that's not like consistent with the needles that they've been using. They'd have to come up with a new way of doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. Does the recluse always make an antidote for all of his poisons?
No, no, that's why I know more about them, is because they had me working on that.
Okay. So if somebody were to get poisoned by this, what would be the best course of action for them to take?
Well, mostly you'd want to get to a hospital, but I've got some antidotes for it. Like the place I used to work actually was, they knew pretty well, because whenever someone came in, then I'd have like the antidote and I'd show them that.
Okay. Hey, while we're on the topic of antidotes, hold on, let me find it here. Have you seen these before? We've been finding these with those dual syringes that they've been using. This is like a single syringe. It's been accompanied with all of their kits that we've been finding.
The single syringe?
Yeah, do you know what that might be?
I'm pretty certain that's the antidote.
Okay. Yeah, our lab couldn't identify it. Well, the state's lab couldn't identify it.
Yeah, they wouldn't really be able to unless you know what you're looking for.
Okay. Do you think that this would be safe for us to like hold on to and use if we needed to?
I
Like, does it
don't
expire or anything like that?
know, not what I made, but I don't want you guys using that if it's because I don't know if it's exactly the one that I'm thinking. I think it's the
Okay.
antidote, but I'm not certain.
Well, you need to test something like that.
For that, I would just need a small little lab.
Okay. What would you need in the lab kit? Just like a list of items. Could you prepare that for us?
Yeah, I can prepare you something for that.
Okay. Martel,
I
you have your
can
notepad on you?
also continue working on different
Yeah, I got my
antidotes if you want.
notepad.
Okay. If you want to, my partner here is going to give you a notepad. If you just want to write down some of the things that, or let know some of the things that we would need to get you. Obviously we can't let you go to your lab, um, but whatever we can bring here to help you out with that, we'll definitely try to do for you.
Okay. Because, yeah, if I can have antidotes for you guys, that would be good.
Just want to start reading out some of those things there, Kyle, and I can write them down for you.
With how my brain is right now, I don't think I can remember what all the names are of everything, but I can get you a list at some,
Okay, that works.
like,
Whenever you feel up to it.
yeah.
So I think that's pretty much all the questions I have about poison. They did give me a list of names to run by you too.
Oh.
More people that have identified that are associated with the Silenced Bloods. They just want to know if you know them, you know what their jobs are, stuff of that nature. Familiar with a Ember Ashcroft?
Be very, very careful with her. She is dangerous.
Dangerous out.
She's got a lot of. She's deadly with knives. She likes to use guns. She's dangerous.
Okay. Where would you rate her in like the seniority of the group?
She's been in that group for a while. I think she'd be one of the higher ups.
Okay. What about a Kane? I think his last name is pronounced Baladin, Baladan.
He's familiar. I think he's pretty dangerous too, but I don't know exactly where
Okay.
in the group he is.
In this detective's notes here, he has written down that they found a box in the back of his car whenever they were searching it for whatever reason that had some type of like prop gag firework thing in it and a note. Did you ever know the Silence Bloods use explosives?
Yeah.
Okay.
They usually like to be more silent, but they will use explosives.
Okay.
It's not far from them to use it.
He says here in his notes that he wanted me to ask you if they would be prone to using traps in such a fashion, like for if we were to go search stuff?
It kind of depends on what's in there.
Okay. I mean, obviously, you know what happened with the whole Ace liquor store raid, right? Did
Yeah.
you see the news?
I'm surprised though, because I thought that would have been a place they'd want to keep.
What do you mean by that?
It was a meeting place where they would work, or where they would meet up and talk, and
Okay.
and it's not just where the Silence Bloods like would visit or join together for a meeting. It was a Demon Blood. Like, they'd all come together to talk.
Okay, so are those two groups related to one another?
Not related, no, but they've worked together different times.
Okay. Do you give me any examples of that you're aware of? Or?
Well, I know I've patched up a couple Demon Bloods.
Okay. So kind of like for support services and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see what else he has in his notes here. What about Spike Rickson? You know that guy?
Yeah. Yeah, I know him.
What's his deal?
He... He's dangerous. He is very, very dangerous. I know he's one of the highest in the group, but I don't know exactly how high. I just know that he'd sit there and he'd watch me sometimes. He's silent, but he also...
He also what?
I've patched people up after he's talked with them.
You mean like other Silence Bloods members, or just people they bring in to talk to?
Silence Blood members too. If
okay, so
one
he'd be
has,
like the... Go ahead.
If one like did something wrong, or he'd talk to them in a room. Or
okay.
somewhere.
So he's kind of like an enforcer.
Yeah, I think that's what he is.
Okay.
Just be careful. If you pull him over or something, try to make sure there's two of you.
Okay. I will pass that information along to the detectives that asked us to talk to you about this. So with that in mind, obviously you said that you think they would have kept the Ace liquor store for a meeting place. If they're not meeting there, do you know where they would be meeting?
Not that I can think of. They only gave me one spot, and that was that area.
Okay. All right, and what about a Ray Twyman? You know anything about him? That's on the list too.
How are you getting all these high people?
I couldn't tell you. This information is coming from the state police. Their IT division gave me this list of names through the detective that you originally talked to. and they asked me to ask you about it. As far as how they come up with this list, I have no idea.
Huh. They're slacking. Jeez. Ray Twyman is another one of the higher members. Another one that I really don't know too much about, but he's very dangerous too.
Okay. Okay, and obviously, just because they have the list of names on this list that I was given, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily in custody or anything. That's why you're still here.
Okay.
But just they wanted to ask you about them, see what you knew, stuff to that effect.
Okay.
So what's Mr. Twyman's job with the group?
I'm not entirely sure, but I think he kind of brought information to different areas.
Okay. All right. The last thing that I have on my list here to ask you about is the detective wanted me to ask you, since obviously he testified in his trial. Gundolf's in prison, so who would be the next in line for leadership in the group after Gundolf?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I guess there are several people who could be next in line.
Okay. Which people would that be?
The ones you mentioned. Ray.
Ray? Okay.
Spike. There's probably a couple others, but they have to earn it.
Okay. How would they earn it?
It could be multiple ways. It could be killing someone. It could be fighting each other. There are several things.
Okay, and who would have like the final decision on that? Would they vote on it, or?
The whole team would vote on it.
Okay. All right. Martel. Did you get anything else from that detective to your email? Daryl.
Yeah.
He must be on the phone or something.
Or he fell asleep.
Possibly. All right. Well, I think that covers the list that was given. Like I said, I'm sorry I had to wake you up so early, but if you want to head back to bed now, that's okay with me.
Yeah, I'll get you a list of different things.
Okay. All right, and they might have more questions for you once I bring my notes back to them. But as of right now, I don't have anything else for you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Appreciate you talking with me this early.
Yeah, just be careful. They are not a group to mess with.
I will pass that along to them for sure. I personally and us three here, we're not going to be the ones going after them. That will be the state. That's a state case. Right now, my sole and exclusive job is to make sure that you stay safe, and that's what I intend to do.
Okay.
So, has your stay here been okay? Is there anything that you want, other than the list you're going to give us?
No.
Okay.
Oh, it's been good.
Herrera and Martel treating you okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
The only thing that I wish I could have, you guys can't help with.
What's that?
Wish my wife were with me.
I understand. Yeah. I'm sorry for your loss again, Kyle.
Thanks. Yeah,
Did
I'll
you,
do. Huh?
did you hear what, I know you weren't at the sentencing hearing. Did you hear what Gundolf's sentence ended up being?
No.
Okay, so Gundolf got life without possibility of parole. He did not get the death penalty, but he did get life in prison.
Well, at least he's locked away and he can't do it to no one else.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do as much as I can to help you, but with how low my rank was in there, unfortunately it's not gonna be too much.
Right, I understand. Any information you give us is obviously helpful, but the thing that we want from you most is, at least what the state wants from you most is they want you to work on some antidotes. They think it's only a matter of time before the Silence Bloods turn around and start targeting them, and they're very concerned about their safety in that regard and what to do, like if one of them were to be poisoned. So
Okay, yeah.
if you could, we'll get whatever you need to that regard. Anything that we can bring here so that you can work here, we'll get that for you, and just try your best, you know.
Yeah. Yep. I'll
All
definitely
right,
do
Kyle.
that.
All right. Well, I won't take too much more of your time. I'll let you get back to bed. So, thanks again, Kyle.
Okay.
Come out here for a second.
Sure. What you watching today, Kyle?